Assalamu alaikum. Hi, I am so excited that you are here to join our conversation today. I have Dr. Su with us, who is a consultant radiologist who is still practicing and loves her work, but has gone into subconscious life coaching. And today she's going to share her journey and that huge transformation and how she's massively impacting people's lives around the world. So we're going to talk all about her exciting journey, and then we're going to get in some really nitty-gritty stuff so that you have some actionable takeaways to make improvements in your own life, inshallah. Okay, Dr. Su, can't wait to hear all about what you do, who you serve, and your journey, inshallah.
Hey, assalamu alaikum, Erin. Assalamu alaikum, Nikita.
Wa alaikum salam.
And hey, assalamu alaikum, everyone who's tuned in and is listening to us. Really happy to be here. So, as Erin mentioned, I'm a consultant radiologist, so a trained doctor. But on top of that, what I do is that I life coach. And my area is subconscious work. So bringing that change from inside out. And I work with high achievers. The reason being that I'm one of them. I've been surrounded by them my whole life. And I help them step into their full potential and then create a life which is joyful, full of abundance, and a success. And they feel successful. So a life of success. And the reason I do all that is because this is a subset of people who have worked really, really hard in their lives, have spent years and decades to be who they are. But a lot of times you see that they are not as joyful as they can be. And my purpose is to bring in that missing link where they realize that hard work and joy, they go hand in hand. And also the fact that whatever they've achieved, it's just a fraction of what they can do. And that applies to everyone because, in truth, what we think that we can achieve, we are capable of at least 10 times more. And I think that's really, really important. So whatever you've achieved, whatever I've achieved, we can easily do 10 times more. And the way to do it is to change, to work on our mind, because the focus is very much like, oh, I've achieved whatever I have, and I can't go any further because world is like this. My spouse, my, workplace, my skin color, my gender, my religion, and the list is really long. In reality, the real glass ceiling, it's not external. It's a thoughts and it's a beliefs. And that's what I work on.
MashaAllah, that's such a beautiful and such a much needed thing, isn't it? I mean, just imagine if you were to actually reach your full potential, where you would be. But how did you embark on this journey? I mean, how did it even start? Was it something that you went through, or, how did you do this? And why did you do this?
A lot of people ask me this question, and I've sat down and I've tried to identify the one point where I thought, oh, I'm a doctor, and from tomorrow I'll be a doctor and a life coach.
The natural progression.
The moment when the lightning struck, kind of thing. But it really is not like that. It's just, it happened very gradually. And a lot of it, I must admit that I didn't even realize that was happening. Say, I'm a doctor like any other doctor who believes in medical world. Otherwise, I wouldn't be spending in the hours and the time and the energy. And I love what I do. But over the years, even, when I was training and even when I've become a consultant, one thing I've noticed is that people around me, everyone else looks at me and, all of them and thinks that, oh, they have it all. This is the life I want. These are the accomplishments I want. And, the number of times people have said to me, the patients, other people around me, oh, I wish I could be like you. Oh, I wish I could be as intelligent as you, or I wish I could do this, or I could never do what you are doing. But the reality is, a lot of these people, they're not really happy. They're stressed day in, day out. They turn up to work thinking they're not acknowledged. They turn up to work, or even, after work, the life is very much from one weekend to another. So the focus is holidays, rather than the focus on what we are doing and driving joy from it. And the other thing which really struck me, because now I'm a radiologist, but I've done my bit on wards. I've worked in surgery before coming to radiology. I've done a bit in peds. I've done a bit, in gynae and obstetrics. And what I've seen is that we get a lot of patients where we don't know what's wrong with them. And there are a lot of people who turn up with illnesses where we try to treat them for those illnesses without realizing where they are coming from. And I'll give you an example, like people with thyroid diseases, people with rheumatoid arthritis, people with Crohn's, with ulcerative colitis. And I've always felt that there was a missing link. And interestingly enough, the way I came to find this missing link was when I had COVID myself. So I've had 2 episodes of COVID, but first one was really hard in a way that I had long COVID, where I had brain fog. There were days I struggled to get out of bed. And to be honest, I was really, really scared because I thought, like, is this going to be my life? Will I ever be able to go back to what I love? Will I ever be, go back to my traveling days? Will I ever go back to hiking, walking? It was really, really scary. And I had 2 options. One was to do what everyone else was doing. Being a doctor, I understand the limitations of medical science. So I don't have that illusion of I'll go to my GP and they'll sort out everything, because I know exactly how much they can sort out.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't have that, even that illusion. And I was left with no other option than to look up things for myself. So as someone who always thought that self-development world, people like Tony Robbins, Marissa Peers, that they were a marketing scam, in moment of desperation, like a desperate person, if someone said to me, oh, have this glass of water and it cures everything, I would have done even that. Because that's who we are in point, when we are desperate.
Yeah. So at that point then, your beliefs at the time was I guess the big stars, the big life coaches, they're there to market themselves, and it's a very different field. It's not necessarily linked to our holistic well-being.
Yeah.
So this is so interesting. SubhanAllah. So what then made you go, okay, now what was it that tipped you over to explore it, to go, yes, this now is holistic wellness?
So I think it was, it's the first step that's the hardest, isn't it? So it was just enrolling myself. So it was just hours and hours of internet search, and where previously I would have looked at it and would have, oh, whoa, it makes no sense. I don't need to do it. But the difference was that I was really looking for something. So I joined up a Tony Robbins event. So I looked at the cheapest one available, I'll be honest.
Yep, we've all been there. Still there.
like, let's do a trial run, what it goes like. And then on the other hand, I looked at Marissa Peers' work and I thought, like, oh, all this sounds really interesting. But the skeptic that I was, I thought, like, before I let anyone try this on me, I'm going to learn it. So I enrolled into that course to learn it so that I could let anyone else do it. So, and the Tony Robbins event, it was so amazing. It was UPW. So someone who was struggling to do day-to-day work, because his work is so powerful, I jumped for 3 or 4 days straight, because this is how his events are. And then that level of energy that lasted for another week. And I was like, wow, it works.
Oh my gosh, subhanallah. So can you tell us, like, what were you doing? What was the change from where you were to then doing the course with Tony Robbins? What did you change?
So I think I just felt, not only I felt like, it felt as if the long COVID was not there. Wow. And I had more energy than I had even before COVID. Like, oh my God, these people know what they're doing.
SubhanAllah, this is so amazing. This is amazing.
I know. That's incredible.
And then what I've done since then, a lot of people would say that since then what I did, like it was a year and a half of self-development on steroids.
We all want this. We all want a piece of this.
This stuff works. And it was very much, it was very much as if I was trying to make up for lost time of all the years that I didn't believe in it. But it's also, it was also because it was working, because it changed me. And then the same with Marissa Peer's work. So a part of her work involves doing sessions on each other. There are 6 or 7 sessions, and they were so powerful to a degree that I once did a session on someone, and they told me that they were able to connect with the universe. I was like, wow. And then someone else did it on me, and I could visualize myself, and I could go back to a time when I was in my mother's room and explain her feelings and how it connects to what I feel today and how I act today and there's like such an eye-opener. There's so much there that we don't understand, and the effectiveness of it. I mean, a lot of times we say that if it's too good to be true, then that's what it is. But this stuff really works. And I know that because I had it done on me before I offered to anyone else.
SubhanAllah. So what happened after that point then? So you were doing the course, you were like on steroids, but natural steroids, living your best life.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where did that shift come from to then go, actually, I want to change other people's lives?
I think it was always there because like people see doctor as another job, like you're a doctor, it's another job, but it really isn't. It's an identity. And it becomes a part of you where, you want to heal people. You want to solve their problem. And I'm not only talking about myself because this is who you become. And it's an identity shift. It stops being a job after 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I don't know when it stopped being a job and when it became an identity. And for me, it was that missing link, all those patients who I looked at and like, oh, I wish I could help you. Oh, I wish I could have done more for you.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I can't. And now I felt, oh, I can do more.
SubhanAllah. That's incredible. Okay.
And it's also because I genuinely believe that if we improve ourselves, we'll have a better world. The wars, the depression, the hatred, the killing, like anyone else, that I don't like this version of world. But it doesn't need to be that, can it? We can change. Yeah. We can change ourselves and we can change the world.
Exactly. And just one person, if we change ourselves, the impact that we can have through millions of people, like science is showing, like just one smile, the impact that can have on the amount of people, and then how many people they impact. SubhanAllah. So that has just been, a little cheeky insight, but wow, how powerful. SubhanAllah. So let's talk about in our next session how you're here. I know that you're being so generous with your time and your knowledge to actually help the people that are listening to our podcast today. So we're going to actually talk about what people can do, what you can do immediately today to make those changes to your life. So tune into the next episode and you will be able to take those actionable steps. Inshallah. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Nikita. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.